First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zeng Kong. Homage to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And the main deity of Homa today, the Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpan. Simu, Duten Siddhi Rinpoche, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. How do you do? And our guest today, let me read it really fast. From the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Secretary General Liao and Mrs. Liao. And from Academia Sinica, Professor and Mrs. Zhu. And the Chief Secretary of the Taiwan government, Mr. Zheng Peifu and Mrs. Zheng. And candidates for the Nantou County. This representative to Mr. Li means Mr. Li. Candidates for the Nantou County, Mr. Li. Councilperson of Taichung City, Ms. Wu. Candidates for Taichung City Councilperson, the wife of Mr. Wang, the mother, Mr. Xie, and the councilperson from Nantou, Mr. Jian, and the candidates for the mayor of Nantou and Caotun, and the representative of Caotun Township, and the candidates for the councilperson of Nantou City, and representative of the legislator Cai Zitang, and from the Overseas Credit Warranty Fund, Ms. Vivian Sid, and from the Foundation Jia Gift, and the attorney to the Tribhuda Foundation, Mr. Zhou, Dr. Zhou, and professors groups of Tribhuda School. And the president of the World Tribhuda Lotus Light Charitable Society, Master Chang Ren, and from Taiwan, the president, Mr. Li, head supervisor, Mr. Lin, the secretary, Mr. Wu, and from the fire department of Kaohsiung City, the leader, Mr. Hong, and team, and from the Cross the Strait magazine, and famous singer and dancer, Mr. Xin Long and Miss Liu Zhen. And the businessman from Hong Kong, Datu Lei And from Bhutan, Namcha Kampu. Welcome. President from the Indonesian Tatan culture, Mr. and Mrs. Chen. From the PIC Guam.
齐家家具生活馆负责人黄淑琪女士，中天电视台给你点上新灯节目制作人徐雅琪书记。
And from Dharma sister Shiachi, producers for the Gini Dansang Shinten and producers for the platform Sutra and Development Stages of Tantra and Master Yan Yu, and my sisters.
Lu Guoying, Lu Ning, and Hassan. 这个感谢至真花篮的很多啊。
And also many people who send bouquet. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? I should say my greetings in different languages, in Cantonese, in Japanese,
good afternoon. And 要讲什么？Selamat siang, selamat datang.
In Indonesian and in Malay.
Hola, amigo.
In Spanish.
西班牙语。Merci beaucoup.
And France.
法语啊，还有呢？감사합니다.
Also Korean, Thai.
韩国 감사합니다. Korea is 감사합니다. Korea. And
안녕하세요.
少几葡萄牙语
and Portuguese.
Okay. I just say hello. Long time no see. 好久没见大家。
It's been a long time since I saw you last.
就是半年的时光。
Time flies.
这一次回来
It's been 6 months.
是坐
And coming back this time, we flew by EVA Air.
这个机长是杨机长。
And the pilot is Mr. Yang. And he's also a Tubuda disciple who live in Tainan. So he flew the plane and took me back here to Taiwan. So he's a practitioner from Dharma lecturers Lian Gang's place. And the stewardess was practicing at the
她服务我的
Baohui chapter in
是一
Linkou,
位杨小姐，
and Miss
那机
Yang.
长也刚好姓杨，
Both have family
机长
names Yang.
跟杨空中小姐，这个开飞机的也是同门。
So the pilot is a true Buddha disciple, and the stewardess was also a disciple.
是宝具同修会啊，
Baoju chapter.
那里的负责人叫做这个
And the leader there was called Lian
哪一
Yu.
位是法师吗？同门哦，是莲佑。
The laity, lay practitioner
他
Lian
也
Yu.
拿了一本他们宝济同修会的这个他自己写的东西给我看。
She showed me what she wrote.
是佳作啊，
It was
还有不要
good.
忘了，它里面还有附了一个红包。
And she also enclosed a red envelope as an offering.
它里面还附了一个红包。
So she did not forget.
把那个宝济同修会那个
So on the plane,
负责人他的这个写的文章把它看完，他写的非常好。
I read the article wrote by the leader of that chapter, Baoju chapter.
但是回到台湾就不轻松。
So the flight was quite relaxing, but as soon as we got to Taiwan, it started to get really busy. After breathing the air in Taiwan, my throat was a little bit coarse. In Seattle, it was totally fine. But as soon as I breathed the air in Taiwan, my throat started. And then for 2 days, my digestion system was not quite comfortable, so I stopped eating for 2 days. Maybe I took the toxic food or toxic oil. And because in Taiwan, that situation had affected the health of the public. So, as I have said during the press conference, and I was asked by the reporters, and I said that conscience, good conscience, is not necessarily from the religion's point of view, but it should be from education. Ever since kids are young, you need to teach them that you have to have good virtues. You need to have skills and abilities, but at the same time, you also need to have good conscience, good virtues, and integrity. So good conscience, integrity, and ethics. So in terms of Buddhism, they violated 2 major precepts. One is the precept not to kill, because your products were against your good conscience, and it affected the health of the consumers. So that was the first and foremost basic precept in Buddhism, not to kill. And because after these people eat what you sell, they get sick and perhaps even die. And the second precept that they violated is not to steal, because you sell counterfeit or fraudulent products and take the money improperly. So they violated 2 precepts, not to kill affected people's health, and second is not to kill, not to steal. See, because you take the money for products that were not appropriate. So the key issue here is in education. So if you only educate the younger generation for skills but not for the morality, then this is the problem. So conscience, morality, integrity are all very important. This is not just a matter of religion. The first time I returned to Taiwan was in when I was 66 years old. And when you're aging, sometimes your words are mistaken. So I came back when I was 66, and now I'm 70 years old. And ever since then, I spent half a year in Taiwan. So I ate quite a lot of those toxic oil, poisoned oil. So my family doctor in America, Dr. Gao, told me that you have to have colonoscopy. And I didn't want to, so I came back. And they said, it's okay. After a night's sleep, it will be fine. But I didn't go for the colonoscopy. Because I feel that being 70, it's good enough. That birth and death are unrelated to me. Whether I'm healthy or not, it's fine. When the time is here, then health issues would come up, or life issues would also pop up. You know, one point is that don't worry, everybody will eventually die. It is very interesting. Doesn't matter whether you're a tantric practitioner, whether you are the greatest guru, or the greatest Rinpoche or living Buddha, or you are Mahasiddha, and you still have to abandon your physical bodies. Not a single human being can live forever. Or if you practice Taoism, you can live for a very long time, but eventually you would still die. It's the same for all the founders or gurus, lineage gurus. They all, no exception. Sakyamuni Buddha, Jesus Christ was resurrected, but then he still died again. Or Moses, Muhammad, they all had to die. So even when you're Mahasiddha or the great living Buddha, you would all still die. And when they have to die, they would be pleased. Because there is no exception, everybody is the same. So this is worth being happy, right? Even if you're a president, you would also die eventually. Or you're the leader of the world, you still would die. Whether you're rich or poor, whether you practice or not, whether you're beggar or king or president, you would die. All would die. So I'm really happy talking about death. I often told my daughter,
almost died. 接近死亡。
I almost died.
所以死是我最高兴的一件事情。
So I'm really happy
没有
about
一个例
death.
外。
No exception, because
所以想清楚啊，不用悲
no
伤。
one is an exception. So there's no need to be sad about it, because all will die eventually.
这是最好的一件事情。
So that's the best thing that could
今天
happen.
第一次见面就跟大家
So on our first meeting this time,
没有
we
比
talk
死更加快乐。
about this, that death is the best
为什么？
thing, and there's
有
nothing
修行
happier
的死跟没有修行的死有差别。
because
有修
there
行的
is a
死
difference between death for non-spiritual cultivators and death for spiritual cultivators.
可以直接成佛。
So if you're spiritual cultivators, you can go to the Buddha lands, you can attain Buddhahood directly in
我
this
直接
lifetime.
就可以走到佛国。
So if you gain enlightenment and attain Buddhahood, you can go to the Buddha land.
没有修行的死，你还是要六道轮回。
But if you're not cultivating spiritually, you still have to be reborn in the 6 rebirth realms. You still have to be reincarnated.
一世又一世的这个转世，一世
So
又一世
you
的
would
这样子转世。
still go from life to
但是
life.
你转世到三恶道，那就很
And
惨。
maybe
业
you
障
would
很
be
重
reborn into the
业障
3
很
lower
轻，
realms.
到天道
If you have heavy
到人
karma,
道
if you have light karma, then you
还有
would
呢
go to heavens or in the
尘愿再
human
来
world. Then that's not so bad.
你这
But there are
有
also
愿望
some
在
who would
度化
come
众生
again
的，你就能够
because
体
they
验
make
在
vows, because they have
所以人
vowed to
生啊
liberate sentient
很
beings.
好玩，
So human lives
真的
are
这个
quite
人间啊
fun.
yeah，非常有趣，非常
It's
好玩。
really interesting. It's really
来
fun.
这一趟，大家都是来玩一玩。
So we all are here
那
to
个
have fun,
这个吃喝拉撒，
to play,
一
eat
切
and drink, and
人生非常的好，快乐的很，
and
就是
really happy
不要有
life,
痛苦。
no suffering
当
whatsoever.
然，苦是多于乐，因为苦
Of
多于乐，
course,
你就知道
suffering is
哦，
more than happiness,
人间
and
有时候
because
不
of
好
that,
那
you
既
would
然不好
know
玩要
that
怎么样呢？
human life is not all fun.
解脱这个人生，
And
或
then
者是
what?
天上的快乐，
Then we
能够
want
完
to
全解脱
liberate
的话，你要懂得要怎么
ourselves.
样是修行。
And
这
then
就是
you
今
want
天
to
我们在
cultivate
这里
spiritually.
这个
That's why we are
聚
here
在一起
today. We
你
gather
看啊，这个
here,
我回来台湾刚好碰到是贤喜，我一看这个贤喜，
and
哇，
as soon as I get here, it turns out to be an election
哇
time.
这个骂过来，那个骂过去，
And it
他每
seems
天都
fun
更新的，
that they are
这
uh,
不得了
attacking
这
each
贤喜很
other,
厉害，不只是他骂他本人啊，还骂他家庭，
and they don't only attack the candidate himself or herself, but the mother and the family and the ancestors, everybody.
台湾太好了，没有文
Yes,
化了，
so when I turn on TV, wow, it's so much fun here in Taiwan
没有文化
during the election time.
真
but
是
not in
好山
America.
好水好
In
人
America, there's
台湾
good
啊，是
nature and
又
good
战
sceneries,
又乱
but
又
so
好玩。
boring. But Taiwan is so dirty and chaotic, but it's a lot of fun.
好，我们今天讲什么？
So what should we talk
要
about
动三
today?
密啊！啊，动疗是金母啊，
Golden Mother. Golden Mother is my yidam, my personal deity. You all know. So I receive Golden Mother opened my divine eyes. And after I opened my divine eyes, I knew a lot of things. On the first night, I traveled to heavens and hells. And then I understood lots of things. Now I have gained enlightenment, then I understand even more. Now I comprehend everything. That's why it is called enlightenment. Everything is clear. And after enlightenment, there is no fear whatsoever, and no topsy-turvy, no fear. That's the realm of enlightenment. So, Golden Mother is the first yidam that I gained yogic response, and then Amitabha Buddha and Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva are my three yidams, and Golden Mother is my first yidam. Although I'm a tantrika, a tantric practitioner, I still remember I never abandoned my first yidam. So that's why I said earlier, Golden Mother, please give me power. I prayed to my lineage root guru to bless me, and I pray to my yidam to give me power. I pray to my Dharma protector to always stay by my side and protect me. And you need to pray the same way. You pray to your lineage root guru to bless you, and you pray to your yidam to give you power, and you pray to your protectors to always stay by your side and protect you, so that you would generate radiance, so that you would attain friction in your spiritual cultivation practices, so that you can go to the Buddha lands, you can go to the Pure lands, and you can become the deity itself, himself or herself. This is really important. Although I'm a tantrika, but Golden Mother was the first that opened my divine eye, and I would never forget. So I regard Golden Mother as my first and the most fundamental yidam. And I also highly revere the lineage gurus that transmitted Dharma to me. I have taken refuge in many gurus, but I never criticize my gurus. I never disobey my gurus' instructions, and I never forget about their gratitudes. Above my crown are my lineage root gurus. From the Nyingma Pa, the red sack, is the Venerable Monk Relmi. From the Sakya Pa is Master Sakya Tejong Rinpoche. From the Kakyu Pa is the 16 Karmapa, His Holiness Gyalwa Karmapa. And he had visited Bhutan too. Bhutan next to Sikkim. Right? Bhutan next to Sikkim. And from the Gelugpa is Master Tupten Dorji. So I have lineages from the 4 orders of Tantrayana. And most importantly, the most secret in the most serene Samadhi is the lineage bestowed by Guru Padmasambhava. As I have said, Guru Padmasambhava is also a Padma Kumara because he is a lotus born, so he is also a lotus youth. How could people say there are no Padma Kumaras? Of course there are. And the Pure Land, Shambhala, the second king of Shambhala, that's called the king of white lotus. He was also a Padma Kumara. And for Mahamudra, it was transmitted by Adi Buddha to the precious mind youth, which is also a Padma Kumara. So Mahamudra of the Kakyupa, the first lineage holder, is also Padma Kumara, a lotus youth. So today we will continue to expound on the great perfection Dharma doctrine with the authentic lineage from Guru Padmasambhava. One day, Xiaoming said, my dad give way to other people on the bus. How about your dad? No. Why not? Because he is the bus driver. So, Grandmasters or His Holiness Dharma throne, would it be given away to others? No. Yes, it will be given to others in the future, but not when Grandmaster or His Holiness is still here, because His Holiness is the driver. Is the driver for the true Buddha train. I need to take the whole train as the train driver and take the whole train to the Buddha lands. I am the driver. In Seattle, I often sang to Ping-er. I would sing about train. So let me sing it, maybe. I am the driver, and the train is a tantra train, Tantrayana. So if you are a true Buddha school disciple, you are on the train, and then you can go to the Buddha land. One day, a kid went to school, and on the first day he cried really hard, and the teacher asked why, and he said, "I don't like school, but I have to come here every day until I'm 15." And the teacher comforted him. I am even more pitiful. I have to come here every single day until I'm 60. And let me tell you, in your spiritual cultivation, don't think that you're pitiful, like Grandmaster is more pitiful. It's okay for you to be absent from the temple sometimes. If you're busy or something happened in your family or you have engagement, but Grandmaster has to be here. So I'm more pitiful than you are. So of course you have to go through hardship to come here. You need to get up really early, and some come from overseas, from Indonesia. So it was quite a trip for all of us. But it's okay for you to take a break sometimes. It's like some people that I often saw before, today they are not here because they are busy too. But for me, it doesn't matter how busy I am. I have to come. Why? Because without me, the train will not go. I have to drive the train. And I receive a direct, authentic transmission from Guru Padmasambhava. So, don't think that Guru Padmasambhava was from many, many years ago. You know, when Sakyamuni Buddha entered into Parinirvana, Guru Padmasambhava was born into this life, and he was ordained by Ananda, and he was enrobed by Mahakasyapa. So he lived for a very long time, and he lived in Tibet for 50 years to spread the Buddha Dharma there. So, but there is a gap in time. How could you receive direct transmission from Guru Padmasambhava? But let me tell you, because Guru Padmasambhava once said, that's the heart mantra of Guru Padmasambhava, Om Pecha Padma Hom. Or Om Ahom Pecha Guru Padma Siddhi Hom Se. If you recite his mantra and you practice his Dharma practice, he had said it before that he would appear in front of you. So he appeared in front of me. So this is the most secret and serene lineage. That's why this is called the authentic lineage or transmission from Guru Padmasambhava. So I had received empowerments of great perfection Dharma doctrine. And in the human world, from Venerable Monk Liao Ming, and beyond the time and space dimensions, I also received the lineage empowerment and Dharma transmission from Guru Padmasambhava. So I'm the driver the train driver. I have to be here. If the driver is not here, and all of you get on the train, you cannot go anywhere. So I'm the most restricted. So I'm really pitiful. A reporter asked a rich man, "You have so much money and you're not afraid of thieves or robbers robbing you?" And the rich man said, "No. I donated my money to Red Cross. Thieves or robbers, not only the thieves or robbers, nobody knows where the money has gone." So, let me tell you, what we gain through our practice is our merits or resources, and the merits that we gain through spiritual cultivation cannot be stolen or robbed. So whatever merits you gain is from however much you cultivated. Then you would be able to meet a true spiritual friend who would teach you. That's your merits, that's your resources. Our resources or merits are in heavens and not in the human world. Because in this human world, money can disappear. Doesn't matter how much money you have, when you die, you cannot bring it with you. We all know that. But if you have no money at all, then that's nothing you can do. So money is still useful in this human world. Because when you have money, then you can take care of a lot of things, especially in Indonesia. I shared this joke before. A Brazilian and Indonesian ministers. A Brazilian minister invited Indonesian minister to go to Brazil. And the Indonesian minister said, "Wow, what a luxurious palace. So beautiful. How did you do it?" And the Brazilian minister opened a window and said, "Look, wow, a bridge, only half. Now, did you get it?" And the Indonesian minister thought, "Oh, okay, I got it. Only half a bridge." And then he returned to Indonesia. And in turns, he invited the Brazilian minister to go to his house. And then, wow, it's like a palace. And then he opened the window and showed him, "Did you see the bridge?" "What? Nothing there." So that's how it was. So Indonesian money, the Indonesian rupiah, it's really useful, but the currencies are really small.
莲生上师在真正得到莲花生大士的真传之后，如同西藏宗喀巴大师一般，非常悲痛正法的不心。Receiving
the authentic lineage Dharma transmission from Guru Padmasambhava was like Guru Tsongkhapa. There are many false gurus around that they only try to benefit themselves, and they not only not propagating Buddha Dharma, they actually destroy the authentic Buddha Dharma. So so deeply grieved by the lack of proper and authentic Dharma in this world. Many false tantra and many false gurus twist and deviate the Buddhist concepts. Worse, there are also fake gurus who only seek profits without wisdom or bodhicitta. Not only they do not teach the proper Dharma, they use manipulative words to destroy the Buddha Dharma. My compassion and empathy toward misguided people made me step up and call out in the hope that the supreme wisdom of Guru Padmasambhava can perfect the true meanings of all Bodhidharma, of both the lesser and greater vehicles by writing this book. So this book contains the proper development stages of practicing Tantric Dharma. And this book was written in the early 80s, in 1983 or 4, long time ago, before Tantrayana or Tantric Dharma was popular, especially in the Chinese-speaking world. So after becoming a Vajracharya, you need to generate bodhicitta and generate wisdom, and you cannot talk as you like. Like the 16th Dharma King Karmapa is the Vajra who understands self-nature. That's very important. It's very important that you understand your own nature or your own mind. So the true understanding of your mind, that's enlightenment. You understand the ultimate truth of yourself, your nature and the universe. And then you practice until you see your own nature, until you see the Buddha nature. Only then you would be able to attain Buddhahood, and only then you would attain fruition. This is very important. How long have I spoken?
还不到50分呢。哦，40分钟 ，OK。所以我念这一段哈，大家都很清楚。莲生上师在真正
So Guru Lienseng, upon receiving the real and authentic Dharma transmission from Guru Padmasambhava, like Guru Tsongkhapa of Tibet, felt deeply grieved by the lack of proper and authentic Dharma in this world. Many false tantra and they do exist because there are a lot of impure tantric dharma, not the real. It's more complicated. It's like to cast spells, those kind of practices. So there are also many false gurus that do not generate bodhicitta. So you need wisdom too. And wisdom is something you gain through enlightenment. And Buddhahood, that's the wisdom of the Buddha, of the Tathagata. So you cannot just use words to destroy Buddha Dharma. You need to help living beings to have attainments. Guru Padmasambhava has supreme wisdom, and the Dharma that were discovered were full of wisdom. Lots of them have the true Buddhist concepts. So, to write the true development stages of practicing Tantric Dharma. Let me share a joke. So Xiaohua wrote an article that in my home there is mom, dad and me. And in the morning, we all go our separate ways. And at night, we come home and gather together. And my dad is a construction engineer. So this is a use of Chinese words. So the three members of my family, when they gather together, we are all harmonious. But when my report card is bad, then my dad would be ruthless. And my mom was just ignoring the whole thing. And sometimes he helped by scolding. And the teacher asked Xiaoning, how do your parents punish you when your report cards were bad? So if it's below 80, it's the single woman single, and then below 70, men single, and then below 60s, double, men and women double. At our home, Grandmaster is the driver that drives the two-wheeler school vehicle, and we are harmonious. Grandmaster never beat anybody, never hit anybody. Because ever since Grandmaster was little, until adult and marriage and then children and then grandchildren now, I never beat my children or kids, never. Neither grandchildren nor children. Because when I was little, I was beaten so much, so I knew how much suffering that was, so I never beat anybody. Now, as a driver of two-wheeler school, I was beaten by other people, sometimes by my kids. So I'm beaten by my kids, by my children. I never beat my children, but my children beat me. So some children laugh home and then turn their backs and beat me. But Grandmaster never beat anybody because Grandmaster has a very soft heart. Even if you defame Grandmaster, slander Grandmaster, and insult Grandmaster, it's fine. Grandmaster will not fight back. But if the protectors and Herukas do something, well, that's there. That's because they are in the wrathful deities, or some of the disciples are also the Herukas and protectors. So they would react back. But the way I help, I would chant mantras for you and pray for you, so that when we gather together, it's a good thing. That in this world, although you may have adversity, there's still my benefactor. Because without this adversity, without the slanders, insults, and criticism and ridicules, then without them you will not gain any attainment. Because they are also training you to teach you to endure, to perform the endurance perfection. So they are my true benefactors. So I still need to thank them, the ex-disciples of True Buddha School. They don't call themselves True Buddha disciples anymore, but I still treat them as True Buddha disciples. As long as we have the affinity, Grandmaster will eventually deliver you.
所以做一个这个有智慧的，很明白、很清楚的，众生一律都是平等的。
As one with the true great wisdom and totally clear that all beings are completely equal and with no discrimination whatsoever, then you will not sell fake items to earn real money, because everything is equal. Some people were parents from past lives, or close ones from past lives, because we were one family. That's why we are together. So they are all very lovely. So those with the great wisdom would have this equality and no discrimination, would never forsake any being, because they are all your close ones. They are all your loved ones, people that you can respect and love, and people that you can never harm. So as a Buddhist practitioner, we need to comprehend this equality, mind of equality. And this is a great bodhicitta. And this is one of the Buddha's wisdom, the wisdom of equality, the wisdom of perfection. They are very important wisdom.
圆满了一切大小圣心要的一切意义，不能忘说要有大菩提心及
So you cannot use false words and need compassion and empathy and perfect the true meanings of all Buddha Dharma of both the lesser and greater vehicles, and by writing this book, so our merits and resources are not on earth but in heavens. So this is the key points of my Dharma teaching today. Om Mani Padme Hum.